Hi everyone, Adam here from Trade with Precision. Let's kick off and have a look at the dollar index. So something significant appeared to happen this last week. We saw that dollar break out of this range it's been in for almost nearly a year. So it is reasonable to expect that we will continue to see a push higher, but it is still sitting around that $100 level. And this is a historically very strong support resistance level. Is it possible that it could still be rejected after that? It's possible, but I'm just talking about this current price action being very bullish and likely to push on. Likely that now it's going to attempt to go to 101. And if that is the case, we would expect reasonably, I would think, to see euro dollar possibly breaking below support. I want to see if this holds. This is the 1.14 level. I want to see if this holds. But don't be surprised if we do see that dollar continue to push. There seems to be, because of all the current chaos going on, there does seem, especially related, by the way, to crude oil, which is priced in dollars. If you want to buy oil, you've got to pay dollars. And that has been strengthening the dollar. It's relatively straightforward once you realize that. And so if that continues to be a concern, we're going to see that dollar continue to strengthen. Dollar yen is one of my favorite charts at the moment. We've finally kind of broken above these highs. This trend is looking really, really nice. Any pullbacks here for me would provide some potential swing trading opportunities, buy trading opportunities, and day traders may be looking for pullbacks on the lower time frames. Pound Aussie is starting to show bullish divergence here. And so I think at some point in the near future, it's going to lose its trend. There may still be one more leg down, but this is where I'm actually going to potentially avoid trading this particular chart. On the other hand, Euro Aussie still looks particularly good to me at this time. But I think we are coming to a point where the weekly has become very overextended and therefore pullback at some point does make sense. I'm exercising caution, but this trend looks really, really good. So Monday or Tuesday this week, early part of this week, I'm looking for a nice bearish or indecision candle here in the moving averages that could prevent, that could ultimately result in another leg down if price follows through and breaks the low. Having a look at Aussie yen. Aussie yen is pulling back here as well. And again, I'm seeing a little bit of divergence creeping in now, which means the end of this trend is somewhere nearby. And again, when you look at the weekly, you can see it's very overextended. Actually, not that overextended from the moving averages, but it just hasn't had a decent, what is wrong with me? Sorry, guys, a decent retracement. But I'm looking for a small bullish indecision candle to form in this area and looking for a potential buy opportunity there. Swiss yen is still forming an ascending bullish triangle. However, if it breaks this low, it might breach this trend line, but if it does break this most recent low, then I would consider this ascending triangle pattern negated. On the other hand, should it turn around in the next couple of days and take another run at it, then this bullish potential breakout setup is still valid. Gold. So gold currently pulling back on the weekly here. It actually hasn't broken below last week's low. So it is a little bit more bearish than I was expecting, but I think the move is towards the dollar right now. So we're seeing money move away. No one's really concerned with gold immediately. They're more concerned with crude oil, the price of that, and hedging against that. So they're moving towards the dollar. So I'm looking out for some potential buy opportunities this week. So I think this week is important to watch that. We could see gold test support where it is in this area locally. We could see it break low, but we could also see it ultimately recover. So it has no clear trend at this point in time. The uptrend is still intact. We have higher lows. We just don't have, we could be going sideways or we could change direction. So just exercise some caution there. Silver as well, also producing a lower high here, coming down to test the support. If it falls through the support, then we may see a bigger correction. On the other hand, should the support level hold, we could find out we could end up with just a double bottom and continue to the upside. So exercise some caution there. The S&P, to me, very interesting. We've broken out of this range we have been in for several months, going back to November. And it is a nice bearish candle. It attempted to break higher, or it attempted midweek to try to climb higher and finish lower. Looking at this, if we break the low, my expectation is it'll come back down to that 6,500 level. And again, I think that the threat from last week, the possibility of it coming, finding support and finishing strong is still on the table. I'm going to be avoiding engaging in these markets because of that precise whipsawing. Moving lower, possibly finishing higher. There's some risks there. US tech as well managed to stay with a bit of an indecision candle above support. I'm going to be watching to see if we do break the low and break support this week. If we break the high and finish with a bullish candle, it implies that the next week, following week, will be nice and bullish. The Russell 2000 just showing here, it's also coming back down here. If we look at it from a monthly perspective, for the most part, it's in a really good place here to produce a nice bullish candle in either for the nth, for April. So again, I'm watching this to see if we possibly find support and push back up a bit higher. The FTSE showing a small, or medium-sized indecision candle here in the moving averages. This high, the highs and lows of this week are important to watch. All right, a break low could see a further downside, a break high could see this take another run at the old highs. This structure here looks very, very good, and indecision candles can potentially be turning points. So that's why watching the high and low of this is important. Euro stocks also here finishing with a bit of a green candle on that 50 period on a level of resistance, could find close to finding support. So again, if we did break the low and then finished with a strong bullish candle here, we could see the week after next, the following week, heading higher. So these possibilities are still very much on the table. I'm looking at the possibility of further downside and also the possibility of it. It's at a turning point, and that is where the danger lies. And just finishing up with Bitcoin, which is currently in a sideways range, meaning it has no clear trend. It's mixing up its highs and lows. It's generally producing slightly higher lows and some slightly higher highs, but this could ultimately turn out to be a bear flag. So it's a range, and I'm just commenting on these two particular shapes. I'm looking for this to either break to the upside, a nice breakout after that consolidation. But if it does break the low and start to break below these lows, we could see another leg down. So essentially, Bitcoin, stay away from it at this point in time. It has no trend. We're waiting for it to pick a direction. Is that direction further downside, or is it to the upside? I'll leave you with that, traders. Play carefully, risk carefully is what I mean saying, trade carefully. But remember, it isn't just about being right or wrong. It's about winning more than you lose.